Hey there everybody, I'm Kev. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to install and set up QBITTORRENT. This video is going to be aimed at people who have been trying to download torrent files. Maybe they have a magnet link or have found a torrent file on some file sharing website and don't know how to download the files that they need from that torrent. I get questions all the time from friends and family asking how exactly to download torrent files. And it's actually pretty easy. So hopefully after watching this video, you'll be able to understand how to install and use a client that can download these things for you. If you have any questions during this video, please add your comments below and I'll address them and answer them as best I can to make sure that I help as many of you as possible. All right, well, all you need is a computer. So let's grab one and get going.
So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go to our web browser and find the download page for QBITTORRENT. So we're on the web page for QBITTORRENT. We're going to navigate to the download page. Whether or not you've got Windows or Mac, they've got download links here for each operating system that you might use. I personally have a Mac, so I'm going to download the Mac disk image, the DMG file. If you have Windows, go ahead and download the 32-bit or 64-bit installer. The download is hosted on FossHub, and I've downloaded from here several times and haven't had any issues. So go ahead and download your QBITTORRENT for your operating system. Once that's been downloaded, check your downloads folder, and you'll be able to see the QBITTORRENT download in the downloads folder, so just double click that. If you're on Windows, process is very similar. If you're on Mac, you have this step where you need to drag the application into your applications folder. And once that's done, you're ready to open it. You see that it appeared on the desktop here. So now we have access to the application by navigating to our Launchpad, and you'll find QBITTORRENT in the list here. An alternative way you can do this is by using your Command Space hotkey on Mac. Or on a Windows machine, you can press the Windows key and just start typing search. So I can start typing QBITTORRENT, and we can see that the disk image comes up as a result to click on, but also the application comes up that's been installed. So we're just going to open that. So it's asking us if we want to open the application because it was downloaded from a source that the Mac operating system might not have been able to verify. So we need to go into our security settings. This is a Mac only issue. So we're just going to quickly get around this. On Windows, it'll be asking you to enter your password or to approve access to your computer by the application. So if you're on Windows, just go ahead and approve that. On Mac, we need to go to our security and privacy settings location. And in our general, you're going to see that it tells us QBITTORRENT was trying to start up, but it was unidentifiable. So we're going to go ahead and say open anyway. Open. And it might even ask you to use your password. Here it did not. And now we've got the application up and running. So a little bit of background about QBITTORRENT. There are many different torrent clients out there that all pretty much do the same thing. Deluge, BitTorrent, uTorrent. QBITTORRENT is another one. So what QBITTORRENT allows us to do is download files that are shared peer-to-peer. Those files are called torrents, if you didn't know. In order to download those files, we need some way to identify what file we want to get from the peer-to-peer network. There are a couple of different ways to download a torrent. And you'll see in the upper left-hand corner of QBITTORRENT that it has the two most common ways that you can do it here. The first one, you have a torrent link, and the second one, you have a torrent file. Now, a torrent link usually relies on something called a magnet link, which is a resource identifier that is like a long string of characters that usually starts with the word magnet. Now, if you have a magnet link already that you've found online for whatever file you're trying to download, legitimately, of course, then you just need to paste your magnet link right in here and hit download. So I went out and found a link for the Debian operating system. That's just a version of Linux that is commonly shared over peer-to-peer networks like BitTorrent. So I found that link, and as I mentioned, it starts with the word magnet. You'll frequently find these links on web pages. It'll have the little shape of a magnet, and if you right-click it, you'll be able to copy the magnet link, and then you can just paste it in here. So once you hit download, you're going to notice a window pop up. Maybe it's in the background if you don't see it. And that window is going to do something, and it just happened very quickly, but it might be slower for you. You'll notice that this window here started out blank, and on the bottom left-hand corner, it said that it was retrieving metadata about the torrent. So what that's doing is it's going to be asking peers on the network about the files. In our case, there's only one file in the torrent. It's the ISO image of the operating system. But for you, if your magnet link is for a movie or for some other type of file, there might actually be a folder here. And in the folder, you'll see maybe a subtitles folder for the movie. Perhaps there's a license agreement in the folder. And each one of those files has a check mark that you can decide, do I want to download that file or not? And just FYI, if you're downloading a movie, most commonly I'll end up downloading pretty much all the files, specifically because I want to make sure if I need subtitles that I've got them. But it's up to you entirely. Download whatever files you think you'll need. So anyway, after you've decided which files you want to keep from the torrent, on the left side you'll notice that it's going to ask, where do you want to save the files to once they've been downloaded? For me, I'm just going to download directly to my root. But you might want to put them in a movies folder or music folder or whatever folder that you're going to be storing these files in. You can also add tags if you choose. You also don't have to. I'm going to leave these blank and I'm not going to touch them. But you can add tags to your torrents if you want to be able to reference categories later. It tells you how big the files are, and you can decide if everything looks good to you. You can click OK, and that is going to initiate the download. So you'll notice that as soon as I clicked OK, it started to reach out to the peers on the network, and it's basically asking for everyone on the network to send me pieces of the file. Now when I click on it, you'll notice that it's progressing quite quickly. That's because this file has a lot of seeds. Seeds are just other computers on the network that have the files that I need. In this scenario, I'm what's known as a leech because I'm downloading from all of the seeds. But if I host the file after I'm done, I will be seeding the file and no longer a pesky leech. The peers section tells me how many people I'm currently connected to. The download speed is self-explanatory. This is how quickly I'm downloading files, and this is absurdly fast. I guarantee you will rarely ever see a download this fast. This is a very, very popular file, so it's hosted by many people. And it's telling me how long it's going to take until it's done. And lastly, the ratio is based on how many bytes of this file have I been sending to other people versus how many have I been taking in. You want a higher ratio, especially if you're on one of those private tracker websites that we don't have to talk about, where your ratio that's the golden number. You want as high of a ratio as possible because that means you are sharing out more than you're sharing in. A ratio of 1 would mean that you are doing exactly the same amount of downloading as you are doing uploading. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait for this file to finish, and then we'll talk about the other way to download torrents, which is through a torrent file. All right, we are back, and it just finished up. You can see that it has 100% done. The status is now seeding. So now I am exposing this file to the peer-to-peer network, and I'm telling everyone, hey, I've got this file, and if you need it, I'm down to send it to you. So now I'm going to demonstrate how to download torrent through a torrent file. You might not always have access to a magnet link. Sometimes there will be an actual .torrent file. Let me show you in my directory here. In my downloads folder, I have this file called Debian 10.3 blah 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 .torrent. So this is a file, it's very small, that does the same thing as a magnet link. I provide the file to QBITTORRENT, and it will do everything that we just saw the magnet link do. So let's do that together. I'm just going to go ahead and remove Ubuntu. Bye-bye. Yes, get this off my hard drive. Now we're going to click on Add Torrent File. That's going to ask for the torrent file location. And as we saw for me, that's in my downloads. So I'm going to open that file. And look, it's the exact same screen that we saw the first time with the magnet link. This is a different operating system, whereas the first time I was doing Ubuntu, this is Debian. But the same process holds. It asks me which files do I want to use from the torrent, where do I want to save them, and do I want to categorize them. And I'm going to say this all looks good. I'm going to hit OK. And we've got the same process as before. It's going to tell me that it's downloading, the percentage, how many people I'm connected to, how quickly it's going, its estimated time of finishing, and then the ratio. All right, and that's finished up, and now we've got the Debian operating system on our computer downloaded to a location of our choosing, and we've been able to use QBITTORRENT to download magnet links or torrent files. And the last thing we need to talk about before we go is managing these torrents. So as you add more, you'll want to make sure that, especially if you're interacting with some less desirable torrent files, that you remove them and you are no longer seeding them, because after you're done with the download of the file, QBITTORRENT's default behavior is to continue serving that file for others. And spoiler alert, this is where a lot of people get into trouble. They continue to serve files to other people that they do not have the legal ability to do. Whether or not you had a VPN running during this process or not, make sure that you stop the seeding process when you no longer wish to be distributing the files. If you're hosting something like an open source project like Debian or Ubuntu, then the world thanks you for continuing to help serve files up that other people can download quickly. Like me, I was able to download those files very fast because many individuals have them seeded on their machines. But if you need to stop seeding, be sure to select all your files, and you can either use the delete button, which will delete the torrent, and you can choose whether or not you also want to delete the file, because remember, the torrent is not the file. The torrent is a sort of a pointer to the file. So here we can delete the torrent without deleting the file, which many of you, that will be the choice that you wish to do. Another option, if you want to seed the file, but just not right now, now isn't a good time for you maybe, you can right click it and pause. So pausing will stop seeding and leeching. So it will not be distributing the torrent, and it will not be downloading it. You can do this while it's still downloading or when it's done. And then resuming will allow you to seed again. I will frequently delete the torrent and not delete the file, as I mentioned. But here, I don't need this file anymore, so I'm going to delete them off the hard drive as well. Please, Windows users, if you have questions, put them in the comments below. I will be happy to answer any questions or discrepancies between the Mac version and the Windows version, but they should be pretty similar. So yeah, good luck torrenting, and thank you for watching.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm going to be adding more videos to this channel like this one. Software discussion videos, technology discussion videos, mini lectures on software concepts, software development tutorials. So please keep your eyes open for that. See you next time.